Today, what we're going to make is, this will be the first time I've done this, done the 2 cakes. So what I'm going to do now is make some salmon and potato patties. I really like those ones that you can get out of the bain marie. So we're going to make them. They're not going to be exactly like those because those are made in the factory. These will be made in my house. We start off with, you want about 1/2 to 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs. Any old breadcrumbs will do, doesn't matter. You want about 1.5 cups of mashed potato. Now I know what you're thinking, this is orange. Yes, it's mashed potato and sweet potato because sweet potato makes everything taste heaps better. Tablespoon of chopped gherkin. Now that's way more than a tablespoon because that stuff's good. Doesn't hurt to have a bit more, as long as it's not all gherkin, because then they'll look like that. That's the pickles that I've got this time. Fletcher's sweet spiced gherkins. They're really nice, especially if you like gherkins. And you want, it says 415 grams of canned salmon. I just got the cold stuff, wild caught in spring water. The main thing you need to do is you need to get all the liquid out of it, make it nice and dry. Use a sieve, that's a fine one, so that'll stop the salmon from vanishing when you're cracking it open. And 1 lightly beaten egg. The egg will start out looking like that and will finish looking like that. Okay, 1 big bowl. Don't need this anymore. Gotta remember to shut the drawers when I'm cooking. So, 1.5 cups, doesn't matter what order you put these in, just get your scraperoo and straight in there. So in with the breadcrumbs, we'll chuck those in as well. Here's your gherkin, whack that straight in. Good stuff, gherkin, makes everything good, especially sandwiches and salmon patties. So that can sit for a second. Basically now I'm going to get another bowl. Perfect. Okay, these sieves are great now, it's nice and fine. Yeah. Waka waka waka. Yes, I have a Cameron today. A Cameron.
I'll be called Cameron. It's fine.
I have a Cameron today. I have a camera human. My girlfriend Dulcie. So you're going to be able to see a little bit more today. Chuck all your salmon into your sieve. I don't know if I've used this salmon before. Last time I used John West stuff purely because it was on special. I'm a big advocate of things that are on special. You know, if I buy all ingredients for something and they're not on special, very extravagant. Because, yeah, why not save money where you can? And then you can buy stuff like drums and motorbikes. It's great. It's also good if you don't have to spend it on. You could probably do this with tuna too. I haven't done it with tuna. I've always done it with salmon. I'm going to try with tuna. I'm sure it'd be pretty similar as long as you drain it out. Probably get the chunky stuff. Actually, probably wouldn't matter. Chunky or flaky. Just make sure you sort of run it through the sieve because otherwise it'll just be mushy and horrible. Okay, get yourself just a normal spoon and just start pushing it through. Get as much as the liquid out as possible and just kind of, there is a word they use for this. I don't know what it's called. It's like breaking it up, making sure it's all just sort of get as much of the moisture out as possible. And just force it through. Don't drink the liquid. It's spring water, so it's not going to kill you, but you don't want that in your patties. It's probably just about right. Okay. So in we go with the salmon. Lovely. All out. Beauty. Alright. Now I would use metal spoon. Give it a bit of a mix. The main reason you use an egg in this is to get it to stick together. It's only got to be lightly whisked. You want egg as your binding agent. So if it's too dry, use a bit more egg. Don't start adding water or anything. Just make sure there isn't like a bunch of breadcrumbs sort of hiding in the bottom. You want it all nice and mixed through. So as we come over to the stove, we'll start. You don't need to get your oil too hot because you're only frying these. You're not deep frying them. So about 5 ml of oil, just enough to give them a little bit of a bath to sit in. But you want to cook them on both sides. So you want to flip them once so they'll get nice and crunchy. But just be careful. Just check them probably 5 minutes either side. Should be pretty right. But really it's up to you. Just make sure they're cooked through, I suppose. So grab yourself a plate. Now what we're going to do is probably about that much. So you won't be able to do these all at once. Just have to do a couple. You'll have to use your hands because you want to sort of get them into a ball, and then you squish them down a bit when they're actually in the oil. So just get probably, say 4 at a time. Because there's breadcrumbs in there, they won't be horrible and sticky. This is a good way of getting sort of gaps out of them, cracks and stuff like that. Just give them a bit of a toss them around. Make sure they're not going to fall apart as soon as they hit the oil. Start them out a little bit pressed down, but you can just push them down, you know, make them a bit flatter. But you don't want them to be cooking them as sort of like cricket ball shape because they won't cook all the way through. You can put corn in these too, but don't worry about it if you forget. So get them in there, just give them a bit of space. You probably could fit another one in there, but don't have them touching. A bit of heat, not too much. You don't want to blast the hell out of them. You give them probably 5 minutes. Use your timer. Come back and check them in a minute. So that's the 5-minute timer. So if you want to, we'll come and have a look, and I'll show you after 5 minutes on this sort of medium heat. They're looking pretty good. A lot of oil there. So just chuck some paper towel on the plate. When they're done, just set them straight on there, and that'll soak out of them. Beauty. So we'll give the other side another 5 minutes, and then we should be done. This mixture has made 4 in there, and then there's 3 more ready to go. So that's pretty good, nice and big. Be a nice tea if you had some salad or whatever. The original recipe does say great for school lunch boxes. So if you don't have kids, you can eat them all yourself. That's what I like to do anyway, but that's just me. Wonderful. So 4 minutes aside is spot on. And there you have it. You can eat these hot or eat them cold the next day or even cold later on. Perfect. Have a go at these. I think you'll be surprised.
You're going to turn that off.
Cool.